Death comes on swift wings to all but the bravest this Hallows Eve. So don thy armor and steel thy heart, because it takes more than a keen blade to slay the scaly 6-foot animated giant green dragon. 6 feet tall and stretching more than 7.5 feet from curved snout to spiky tail. This flying flash fryer is ready for a freshly cooked feast. Its starved eyes glow red with bright LED light, drawing attention to 2 massive, menacing horns glinting atop its head. Its long claws and sharp-pointed teeth are ready to rip into whatever or whomever is on the menu this evening. And I wouldn't cross it when it's hangry. One wrong move, and the 6-foot animated giant green dragon roars with sound and fury. For this flying fiend can fill the night sky with haze and fog when you connect a fog machine using the included adapter and hose. Dinner time. Happy Halloween, and thanks for shopping.
Witness.
This Halloween, he will reap what he sows. Hovering high above the ground, the 12-foot animated levitating reaper surveys his earthly hunting ground, seeking fresh souls and bringing death from above.
You are merely ants in my game of death and destruction.
Enormous hands clutch an even bigger scythe and staff, while tattered black robes conceal this grim ghoul. Against the dark of night, this floating phantom emanates an array of colors. Let them cycle with time, or select your scare with the hue most horrifying. Catch his ageless, lifeless eye, and the 12-foot animated hovering reaper will tell you your fate. His head and jaw coming to life with realistic motion as he speaks.
You may attempt to flee, but the darkness shall swallow you whole.
This fright night, it's not the chill autumn air that cuts deepest. The 12-foot animated levitating reaper.
Mortal, maybe, but not for long. The 7-foot animated lethal Lily the Witch has got your scent, and she intends to keep it, mingling with the rotten stench of river monsters and beastly bog breathers. Standing 7 feet tall, this wicked witch of the water is an imposing presence, practically dripping with the dregs of whatever cursed lagoon she slithered out of. Her staff, fashioned from waterlogged wood, glows green with bright energy-efficient LED light, illuminating the cracks and wrinkles of her decrepit, age-ravaged face. Her silver strands are capped by a big, bewitched hat covered in green tatters. A dusty brown shroud and swamp-stained long skirt are held up by a braided belt. And a powerful polywog joins this marshland magician, covered in rich detail and green LED light. Watch this witch wiggle, and servo motors and lethal Lily's head speak life into this soggy sorceress as she blinks her eager eyes, attempting to entice you with her realistic, moving mouth.
Oh, you want to leave? It's well known that those who enter my lair never leave.
And your pain will last forever. Happy Halloween, and thank
Oh, how I love the color black. Don't you?
Haven't you heard? Black is back. and the 3-foot battery-powered animated LED haunted dolls are dressed to kill. 2 times the trouble. The one with the dolly wears a glamorous gothic gown as black as her hair. The other, a pink, lace-trimmed farmhouse dress with a golden brown teddy to match her beautiful blonde locks. Their gray skin is cracked from neglect. Their feet are cold and bare. It's clear this pallid pair of worn-out toys has seen better days. But activate their sound sensors, and the animated LED haunted dolls' empty eyes fill red with bright LED light. Their heads and arms come alive and move.
She used to be one of those annoying pink dolls.
As their synchronized mouths call into the night over eerie, ominous music, searching indoors or out for their next friend in fashion.
Why don't I give you a makeover too? You could use one.
Happy
Not fear the Reaper. I will watch over you while you sleep. Don't you just love the deep, dark dead of night? On Halloween night, they say the dead come out to play with the living. Join me, crew. Step in line and hop too, or I'll cut ye down and swab the deck with your entrails.
Yo-ho and a bucket of blood. All aboard the ship of the 7-foot animated Captain Cuts. Brandishing a crooked silver hook, and the long, sharp cutlass for which he's named. This seafaring swashbuckler has quite an edge. Like any buccaneer worth his weight in gold, he's befriended by a beautiful bird perched on his shoulder. His twisted gray beard is as long as a day on the stormy seas. And his weathered blue overcoat is splattered with the consequences of raids gone right and wrong. Awaken this Davy Jones and watch as his heavy-lidded, rum-soaked eyes move. He blinks lazily, looking from side to side as he tilts about, finding his sea legs and threatening to turn any scurvy dog that dares cross him into shark bait.
If ye ain't a partial to honest pillaging, ye pomp scoundrel, then ye can walk the plank.
Dead men tell no tales, so shape up before you ship out.
Don't be jumping ship now, landlubber. We be setting sail for distant ports unknown.
The 7-foot animated Captain Cuts.
Come closer, weary traveler.
Lost are we? Saddle up with Ireland's own nogginless nightmare. The 8.5-foot Night Dalahan. In the crow-black night, his red LED eyes smolder like 2 hot coals. His menacing mouth and exposed chest radiate with rage. Rearing in excitement, this massive mare has glowing red eyes that give a ghoulish glow. Be the unfortunate one who captures their attention, and the two come alive. The horse's head moves up and down as its rider's arm swings wide. Head in hand, the horseman's jaw begins to move as he delivers one of 6 thrilling threats.
I'll give you a running start. I do enjoy the chase and earning my trophies. Time's up. Here I come.
If you're looking for a Halloween ride or die, you found it. The 8.5-foot Knight Dalahan. Only...
Avast there, you slimy excuse for a sea dog.
Set your sails for the afterlife. The 6-foot animated pirate sidekick is the undisputed first mate on this voyage, and you are but a bilge-sucking bother. This old salt has seen everything from Dead Man's Cove to Davy Jones' locker, and he's ready to tell you all about it, if you keep your mangy mitts off his loot in his left hand, or take a swig from the Seaman's Poseidon poison in his right hand. On deck and on land, he's propped up by one peg leg. Come close and you'll see the patched eye he lost to a kraken. But get too greedy and his LED eye comes alight with dreams of doubloons, his jaw and head moving as he gestures towards his coffers.
Aye, me skull be rattling with laughter at the misfortune of any landlubber who dare cross our path. Me heart may be cold, but nothing warms it like a chest full of gold. So give it here, or I'll pry it from your lifeless hands.
Best to keep your eyes to yourself, and your hands where this bloodthirsty buccaneer can see them. Unless, that is, you care to lose them.
You dare to gaze upon the golden spoils of our latest plunder? I'll cut ye down for that.
The 6-foot animated pirate sidekick.
Coffins, crypts, and the dark places where sunlight dare not creep. Enter the lair of the 7-foot animated Victorian vampire. Arisen after more than 100 years in repose, the silver screen's most famous fanged fright has returned. With an appetite. His long, hungry teeth show the yellow of age, and his skin wrinkled and ravaged by countless nights, without so much as a bite or a drop to eat. And his hands are ready to claw for more crower and clots. Under bushy grey brows, his ancient eyes glow a brilliant gold, searching, yearning to taste the essence of youth incarnate.
Life shall fade into pallid shade as I sup upon your blood.
Welcome to your last meal, but you won't be the one eating. The 7-foot animated Victorian vampire.
Step right up. You! Yes, you! What are you waiting for? The circus is in town, and the enormous 8.5-foot animated carnival Carl invites you to try your luck. With his huge hammer in hand, this startling sideshow appears more trick than treat. But he's just clowning around. Or is he? Trigger his motion sensor and you'll find out as he swings his hammer up and down, his painted jaw opening to speak. You look strong. Why don't you come take a shot? If you lose, I'll just put you in place of the bell.
Powerful polka dots line his suit, while oversized hands and shoes fill out this killer clown.
Red and white face paint cover his evil eyes and mouth. His head is finished by bold strands of red hair and a huge hat. See? It's all fun and games until someone gets hurt.
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Which one of you will become my next foe?
Ha! The 8.5-foot animated carnival car.
Did you allow yourself to come so close?
Even in the stillness, you are never alone. Not with the 6-foot animated LED snapping scarecrow around.
Are you ready to join me in my field?
He might seem like a harmless haystack, the only sign of life, a curious crow perched upon his shoulder. But should you get too close to this sleeping straw man... Got you! Motion activated, the 6-foot animated LED snapping scarecrow's spring-loaded head rushes up to meet your gaze. His crow friend's eyes glowing red in the darkness as he speaks.
You're not afraid, are you? Why not come along with me?
This scarecrow doesn't need a brain. He wants yours. And he'll take the rest with it too. The 6-foot animated LED snapping scarecrow.
That's what I get for testing spells on myself.
A sad tale, to be sure. The 6-foot animated marionette witch once had the world on a string. Now she plays puppet to an age-old curse. Stuck hanging from her sturdy wooden support structure, this woeful witch is desperate to cut loose. Trigger her motion sensor and she springs to life, begging and pleading, writhing on her fixed frame, as her pallid face and eyes fill with LED light.
Say, you look like you know some magic. Want to help a little old lady like me out?
Wavy silver strands frame her weathered face, while a tattered red sweater over battered black dress pair perfectly with her sinister striped socks and classic big buckled clogs. But be warned, this wicked witch has a few tricks up her strings.
Just say this little old incantation and we'll be switching bodies in no time.
The 6-foot animated marionette witch.
Let's drink my magic potion and dance!
Misery loves company, and the only thing more wicked than a potion-packing witch is two. Double the trouble. The 3-foot animated LED potion, which is 2-pack, will do anything to get your body moving. Trigger their sound sensors, and this putrid battery-powered pair come alive. Dressed to boogie in purple and black spider-webbed lace, their empty eyes and magic potions fill with green energy-efficient LED light, glowing in sync with their mouths as they begin to speak and dance.
Dance potion will make you move your feet.
Dying to get down to the disco beat? Not so fast. Just one sip of the 3-foot LED animated dancing witch's glowing elixir, and you'll be the life of the party. Permanently. Any requests, ladies? Happy Halloween.
Enter at your own risk, even when the moon is full. Terrible things lurk in the darkness. The 5.5-foot animated Fear Valley wolf is on the prowl, and all are prey. It's easy to see this hungry hunter starving to the very bone. Ribs showing through the torn tissue of its bony chest. He's covered in mangy, thick black fur, except where the scars of fights and foes in his legs and face shine through. 2 motion LED eyes glow brightly in the darkness, scanning the street for a bite. When it's finally found you, the craving takes over. Its fanged, fearsome mouth and animated ears and tail twitch with excitement as it calls out into the night. My, what big teeth you have. All the better to eat you with, my dear. The 5.5-foot Fear Valley wolf. The sound of horses long dead, pulling, groaning wooden wheels, turning slowly as a lone bell tolls in the distance, and a dashing driver, red-eyed and ragged to the bone, laughs without a care in this earthly world. There's no mistaking it. This way comes the 5-foot animated hearse with skeletons.
The graveyard is not far.
Sound sensor activated, the driver's mouth moves as it laughs in the lantern light. His eyes glow ruby red, cutting sharply through the darkness. 2 flickering LED lanterns on either side of the coach light the way to the afterlife. In its care, 1 fully poseable passenger, freshly and dearly departed, reclining in the back.
The dead bloke's time was up.
Would you care for a ride? The trip may be short, but the destination is an eternity. The 5-foot animated hearse with skeletons. Only at the home.
Look now, the original towering terror, the 12-foot Skelly, is back. And this time with a head-turning twist, literally. The 12-foot Servo skeleton brings realistic motion to this colossal classic. Servo motors move the head from side to side in search of fresh frights, while its life eyes blink, squint, and scan as they change color, shape, and pattern. Choose from 8 different optical options, or use the included remote to select your scare. This outdoor-rated mega monster brings all the bone-chilling sculptural detail of the original to life again, with tethers, stakes, and a sturdy metal base to keep it standing tall in all weather. But once it's up, you'd better hope it likes what it sees. If it's got a bone to pick, it might just be one of yours. The new 12-foot Servo skeleton. Only. Come further, only if you dare. For when trees have swallowed the sun, your eyes can hardly believe what horrors they see. Standing many times the size of your average trick-or-treater, the massive 12.5-foot Inferno deadwood skeleton has torn itself from its roots. And it's ready to tear into you. Rich with realistic sculptural detail, its knotty, poseable arms twist and twine outward, reaching for something more than candy. Its jagged mouth and hollow chest ooze with bright color-changing LED light. Draw its attention, and 2 blinking, motion-activated eyes fix directly on you. He's rooted to the ground by a wide, sturdy base, ensuring he's dead and alive all season long. But do not expect an olive branch. This terrifying timber will snap you like a twig. The 12.5-foot Inferno deadwood skeleton.
Keep your head bowed low when you're prowling through his patch. The 12-foot Inferno Pumpkin King reigns supreme. His carefully carved life eyes glow evil and bright, illuminating the eerie details for his frightening face and his wicked, fiery smile. But it's the fire raging in this mad monarch's bare, bony chest that will haunt your dreams, and the flames will continue to flicker and burn for an eternity with the included AC power adapter. From the sides of his giant skeletal frame, 2 long Poseable arms reach out, grasping for a trick-or-treater to snap like dry straw. His lengthy legs root in the ground like 2 twisted tree trunks, and sturdy stakes help keep this king squarely in his court, where he belongs. All hail the 12-foot Inferno Pumpkin King. He's a real hothead. Happy Halloween, and thanks for shopping.
When the shadows fall and night consumes the sky, this willow weeps for you. 7 feet tall, the color-changing LED willow tree's crooked trunk and long, flowing tendrils glow a deep purple hue and a fiery, festive orange lit by over 500 LED lights. 3 different lighting patterns let you select just the right eerie effect. Set it up indoors or stake it down outside to wisp in the wind. The lacy black textured trunk reaches high up into the dark sky, filling the night with light. The sturdy metal frame is weatherproof, strong enough to stand up to whatever wicked weather may come. And its simple design makes assembly and tear down a breeze. Wherever your 7-foot color-changing LED willow tree takes root, sorrow is what it sows, and fear is what it reaps.
Make no bones about it. In the canon of blood-curdling classics, nothing scares them stiff like the 5-foot Poseable skeleton. Its sunken eyes glow blood red with bright, battery-powered LED light. Centuries of age stain its bones with a deathly detail of the freshly exhumed. But while the Poseable skeleton may look as old as the dirt in its graves, multiple joints in the elbows, knees, and ankles bring it back to lifelike action, sitting, standing, or hanging from the sturdy black hook in its skull. The 5-foot Poseable skeleton holds its shape, conforming to almost any position or display. Go ahead, move it any way you'd like. But death has no masters. Happy Halloween. And to stack or not to stack? That is the question posed by the enormous, eye-popping 8-foot skull stack. This towering totem brims with bright, energy-efficient LED light, illuminating 5 frightening faces, each bigger and more bone-chilling than the last. Stack your skull straight up on the durable metal support for an imposing image, or separate and place them where you like. Each skull is lit individually for maximum mayhem. When Fright Night is over and the catacombs call, storage is simple. The smallest 4 skulls nest inside one another, and all fit within the largest one for easy entombment. This year, why merely keep up with the Joneses? With the 8-foot skull stack, you can finally get ahead. Or 5. Happy Halloween, your hope and cheer. The 7.5-foot skull and bones archway spells death for those who dare draw near. Reaching higher than 7.5 feet tall and stretching more than 6.5 feet wide, the archway proudly displays the rotting remains of anyone foolish enough to cross its threshold. Skulls and bones of various shapes and sizes, all painted in dreadful detail, line its broad and sweeping arc, sending out a stern warning to trick-or-treaters and partygoers to enter at their own risk. For there are no guarantees in life, or the afterlife for that matter.
When passing through the graveyard this fright night, tread lightly. You wouldn't want to disturb the things that may lurk in the darkness. Long, lean, and mean from head to tail, the 6-foot animated giant fire dragon is one blazing beast. Precision-molded scales and sharp spikes run the length of its blood-red body. 2 giant wings arc upward from its back, prepared for flight with a terrifying roar. Its searing LED eyes come alive. Its mouth begins to move, opening and closing, glowing bright red against the infinite black. As a powerful roar emerges from the Inferno raging in its chest. No sudden moves now. You don't want your night to go up in flames. The 6-foot animated giant fire dragon.
You again. I have a bone to pick with you. No visitors allowed!
Knock, knock. Who's there?
Hush! Enough jokes!
Philip. Philip who? Fill up my bag with candy.
Bright night is an absolute smash!
Trick or treat!
Trick or treat! The 7.5-foot...
If you're looking for a sky-scraping scare, no one stands taller than the Pumpkin King. At 13 frightening feet, the giant Jack Skellington towers over all. Never one to underdress, this devilish dandy is decked out in his classic black pinstripe suit. with a wide bat-like bow tie stretching far past his slender shoulders.
There are few who deny it. What I do, I am the best, for my talents are renowned far and wide.
As night falls, color-changing LEDs bring some much-needed color to his bone-white body, glowing brightly all night long. Trigger his motion sensor, and his Skellington skull begins to turn, bringing this secret Santa into the land of the living once again. His jagged jaw opens, and his haunted head moves from side to side as he quotes something enough. Remove and replace for a new Halloween Town attitude, playful to sinister with the interchangeable faceplate. Don't bother telling the Pumpkin King what you want for Christmas this year. Naughty or nice, he'll see to it this nightmare is your last. Happy.
Go ahead and shoot. I'll be back. I always come back.
Some scares stay with you for years. Everything else is just child's play. As they say, you just can't keep a good guy down. Friends, meet Chucky.
I have had it. That's it. There is a limit to how much I can take.
Standing 3.5 feet tall, this freckled relic of the 1980s is everyone's best friend and worst enemy. He may look innocent enough in his striped shirt and overalls, but play at your own risk. The 3.5-foot animated Chucky is motion sensor activated. His head and body start to move, and watch this blue-eyed brat come to life. Just like in the movies, watch in horror as the dead-eyed doll wakes and begins to move, blink, and speak.
As a doll, I'm infamous. I'm one of the most notorious slashers in history, and I don't want to give that up.
But the 3.5-foot animated Chucky doll isn't toying around.
I am Chucky, the killer doll, and I dig it.
This Halloween,
Do you want... It is so good to see you.
What is alive that should not be? Venture deep in the woods and you shall see the 9-foot murderous maple. Draped in moss and brown autumn leaves, this king of the forest is every inch evil. Covered in realistic detail from its rotten roots up to its craggy, crooked crown. 2 eager arms branch upward, framing a most fearsome visage sunken in its thick trunk, pulsing brightly with color-changing LED light. Let these sinister shades cycle endlessly, or choose the color most chilly. The decision is yours. But if you think you can control this wild wood, think again. The wind is not the only thing that moves this monster. The 9-foot murderous maple.
Yard decor from Jemmy.
By the day, the shy soulmate to Halloween Town's popular Pumpkin King. The 5.9-foot animated Sally is the most ravishing rag doll this side of the hinterlands. Her luminous cyan skin shines in the moonlight, stitched together by deep blue threading that runs the length of her slender body. Long red locks cascade downward, accentuated by a mid-length black and red patterned dress. From side to side, she waves a single stem of deadly nightshade, her key to freedom, as she tilts her head and sings her mournful Unrequited love. No spoilers, but there's more yet to come for the 5.9-foot animated Sally. The stench of love is in the air. Only
the ghost with the most, babe.
Once, twice, 3 times is all it takes to summon this undead devil into the land of the living. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Let's turn on the juice and see what shakes loose.
That's right, ladies and germs. When it's showtime, everyone's favorite freelance bioexorcist, the 6.4-foot animated Beetlejuice, is only just a shout or a scream away. Standing over 6 feet tall, taller yet if you count the surging shock of greasy green hair, BJ is decked in his signature striped suit, dressed to distress all the dearly departed at the afterlife's hottest after party.
What do we got here tonight, kids?
And how's this for a party trick? More than just BJ's head will spin when he kicks into action, reciting some of the movie's most wretched and revolting quotes.
I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it!
Unlike the real Beetlejuice, this ghost with the most is easy to ward off. Just think twice before you call on him next year. The 6.4-foot animated Beetlejuice, only at the...
Now you come over here. I'm sure you taste much better when you're afraid. I'll be more than happy to help you find your way.
Hell hath no fury like its favorite hound, the 7-foot Skelly's dog. Measuring 7 feet in length, this petrifying pooch is starving right down to the bone. In fact, it's nothing but bones. From the teeth of its poseable jaw to the tip of its positionable tail. Go to greet this massive mutt, and its realistic life eyes start to blink, changing color and shape, swirling, spinning, burning, bulging, and exploding inside its sizable skull. Always man's best friend, Dog is the dedicated companion to Skelly, our skyscraping signature scare. The two make a perfect pair, indoors and out, but think twice before you invite them in for a cider and snack. These gargantuan guests won't throw you any bones. They'll take yours. The 7-foot Skelly's dog. The original 12-foot Skelly is back for more Halloween mayhem. Rising higher than a single-story house, this staggering stiff is what nightmares are made of. Its bony body, larger than life itself, is covered in realistic sculptural detail. From its horrifying head down to its 10 wiggly toes. Should he spot you, watch as its realistic eyes scan and blink, changing color, shape, and pattern. Use the included remote to choose from various effects and select your scare. One thing is for certain. This towering terror can't take its eyes off of you. For maximum mayhem, pair Skelly with its beloved best friend, the 7-foot Skelly's dog. But don't be surprised when your front yard becomes a graveyard. The original 12-foot Skelly. Only.
I've created life!
It's alive! But will you be so lucky? Better keep your distance from the 7-foot animated Frankenstein's monster. This not-so-gentle giant has broken out of the doctor's lab, and he's hell-bent on terrorizing the town one stiff step at a time.
Look out! Tie him up, quickly!
Until that sound can only mean one thing. Jack's back! As the winds turn cold and the darkness ever deepens, the 6-foot animated Jack Skellington stands ready to do what he does best. Frightfully fashionable in a black sharkskin suit, adorned with red pinstripes and a bold black bow tie. This tall drink of death is in his element. He gestures confidently, moving his arms and head back and forth, wondering aloud if anyone is brave enough to withstand his flair for fear. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, huh, Jack? Cheer up. After all, you're the Pumpkin King, and Christmas is just around the corner. The 6-foot animated Jack Skellington.
Run as much as your heart desires. I will always find you.
Ready or not, here comes the boogeyman, and you're it. At a staggering 8 feet tall, this big bad boogeyman is hell-bent on one thing: your soul. Tall, dark, and absolutely horrific, he's dressed in a slim black suit and spattered button-down with stringy black hair spilling down his gray, ghoulish face. Trigger his motion sensor, and your worst nightmare comes to life. His eerie, skin-draped eyes and bony hands glow with bright white light. His arms reach out as he turns from side to side, searching for you. His jaw moving up and down as he calls through webbed lips.
I am inside your head. There is no escape.
What happens when two become one? If the Boogie Monster has his way, you're about to find out. Happy Halloween.